Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility, here to report another passing of a very important musician, someone very, very prominent on the extreme metal scene, especially the Swedish extreme metal scene. The great vocalist Tomas Lindberg, of course, most notably known for being the singer in At the Gates, one of the most important Swedish melodic death metal bands of all time, has passed away at the age of 52, right? Born in Gothenburg, Sweden, October 16th, 1972. He has passed away yesterday, September 16th, 2025, after a bout with kind of like a rare form of cancer that attacks the mouth and specifically the palate of the mouth inside the jaw. He had been going through treatment and many operations for the last year or two, and he succumbed to the disease just yesterday. So, of course, Tomas, part of some of the most important albums in extreme metal history, and specifically, death metal and melodic death metal, of course. Those classic albums with At the Gates, burst on the scene in 1991 with Gardens of Grief, and, of course, The Red in the Sky is Ours in 1992. But it was with 1995's Slaughter of the Soul album that At the Gates really, really made their mark on the scene forever going forward. Slaughter of the Soul is kind of like the blueprint for a lot of melodic death metal to follow. Certainly also extremely important to the American metalcore scene of the 2000s. And he always had that distinct vocal style. Again, it's the extreme nature of singing, but it's this combination of like a growl and a scream, whereas you really can understand pretty much everything he's saying. And more of a high-pitched tone early on in the days on albums like Terminal Spirit Disease and the ones I already mentioned, certainly Slaughter of the Soul. Band broke up for many years and got back together in to do an album in 2014, and actually had released a couple of albums, last one being 2021's The Nightmare of Being. So, but very, very prominent on the scene, even outside of At the Gates. His first band was called Grotesque. They released an album in 1989, In the Embrace of Evil. But if you look through his discography, he appeared on a lot of albums, sang with a lot of bands. Skit System is another one. He also was part of the band The Crown. Right, Crown, pretty well known. Crown and Terror, 2002. Also appeared on a few albums with the band Night Rage. The first album there being Sweet Vengeance in 2003. So very, very prominent on the scene throughout his career. He's done guest vocals on lots of albums from, Converge and Blood of Heroes, City Keys, Cold Tears, Orphan Land. You name it. And he's got a very, very extensive discography of stuff that he's appeared on. But he will forever be known for those At the Gates albums specifically, because that was the most popular band that he was with. And always had the longish hair, had a beard quite a bit in throughout most of his career, and just an awesome front man. And again, such a big part of so many classic albums in this style of music. I think you really can't measure the importance of At the Gates, even if you just want to talk about Slaughter of the Soul, only that album. So important to the history of extreme metal. And like I said, we've had so many bands that have come in that wake, whether they be from Sweden or Norway or Finland or wherever, or here in the States, who do this kind of like melodic death metal thing, or like that metalcore style, and that all goes back to those early At the Gates albums. So just a hugely important band on the scene, and he was a big part of it. And I am seeing all over, like social media this morning, a lot of people that I know in the metal scene and here in the kind of New York tri-state area, who had the opportunity to meet him and see him and get to know him. Lots of stories floating around right now, great stories and memories about Tomas, and so he's going to be missed. And it's way too young. 52 is way too young, but that cancer thing sucks, right? So so that's my little tribute to him today, and as an extended tribute to Tomas. Again, I had it on the list of things to do at some point, but I'm going to kind of pull it up the list real quick. I'm going to be doing a special ranking the albums of At the Gates this weekend, in addition to a couple of others that are happening, so as a tribute to Tomas. So stay tuned for that, ranking the At the Gates albums. There's not a lot of them, but there are 5 or 6 of them. So so that'll be coming this weekend as well. So stay tuned for that. And rest in peace, Tomas. Your music will live on forever. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Rest in peace, Tomas, and we'll see you soon, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.